Listen, you've got to come to terms with something early in life. Most people don't care about your problems. I know that sounds cold, I know it stings, but the sooner you understand it, the sooner you free yourself from the trap of seeking sympathy in places where it doesn't exist. Because here's the truth. Everybody you meet, every single person you pass by, they're carrying a bag of their own. Some carry it quietly, some carry it loudly, but make no mistake, everyone has weight on their shoulders. So when you think that spilling your pain onto others is going to make it lighter, you're wrong. What it really does is weigh down someone else who's already bent under their own load. You see, people will nod, they'll smile, they'll say, "I'm sorry to hear that." But deep down, life has them in a chokehold too. They're worried about the bills they haven't paid, the dream they haven't achieved, the relationship they're trying to fix, the health they're trying to protect. So when you come to them with your problems, you're just adding another storm to the forecast they're already struggling to get through. That doesn't mean people are heartless. That doesn't mean they don't care about you. But life is real, life is heavy, and most people, they just don't have the bandwidth to carry their own struggles and yours too. So what does that mean for you? It means stop looking for a cheering section every time you're in pain. Stop waiting for the world to notice your tears. Stop believing that the crowd will lift you up when you fall. Because the crowd isn't coming, the world isn't pausing, life isn't slowing down so it can comfort you. Life is cold, it is raw, it is unbothered by your emotions, and the only person who can really do something about your problems is you. Now some of you might hear that and feel discouraged, but let me tell you something. It's not discouragement, it's empowerment. Because if most people don't care, then you don't have to live your life waiting for approval, waiting for validation, waiting for someone else to fix you. You can stop waiting for a handout of sympathy and start giving yourself a hand up through action. When you stop announcing your problems to the world, something powerful happens. You start taking responsibility. You start saying, "All right, this is my fight, this is my mountain, this is my storm, and I may be bruised, I may be tired, but I am not broken. I'll figure this out." That's where strength is born, not in the complaints, but in the silence of resolve. And let's be honest, some people don't just not care. Some people actually feed off your pain. They love to see you down because it makes them feel taller. They love to hear about your failures because it makes their small victories shine brighter. You think you're confiding in them, but really, you're just giving them entertainment. You're giving them gossip to whisper about when you leave the room. That's why you've got to be careful who you hand your problems to, because not everyone wants to see you rise, not everyone claps when you win, and not everyone is rooting for you to come out of the storm stronger. Some people hope you drown in it, so why give them the satisfaction of seeing you weak? Why hand them the privilege of knowing your fears, your insecurities, your wounds? Here's the truth: pain is private. Growth is private, struggle is private. The world doesn't deserve to see you at your lowest. The world deserves to see you at your best. Because when you emerge from the fire, when you come out of the storm, when you walk out of that dark valley and step into the light, the victory will speak for itself. No explanation needed. So instead of saying, "Nobody cares about me," flip it. Say, "Nobody cares," good. That means I'm free. That means I don't owe the world an explanation. That means I can grind in silence. That means I can build in private. That means I can cry behind closed doors and walk out with my head high, without ever letting them see the tears. When you understand that most people don't care, you stop living for their attention and start living for your mission. You stop telling stories of defeat and start creating stories of triumph. You stop waiting for somebody else to save you and you become your own hero. And the beautiful part, when you finally do win, when you finally break through, when you finally rise above the struggle, then people will care. Oh, they'll care when you succeed. They'll care when you make it. They'll care when your life becomes proof that the struggle didn't kill you. But here's the catch: you don't need them to care. You didn't survive for their applause. You didn't fight for their validation. You didn't win so that they could cheer. You did it because you refused to stay broken. So remember this: most people don't care about your problems. And that's your advantage. Because if they don't care, you don't have to waste time talking. You don't have to waste energy explaining. You don't have to waste your life chasing sympathy. You get to focus all that energy on solving, on growing, on building, on becoming. And when it's all said and done, when the dust settles and your story is written, nobody will remember how much you complained. Nobody will remember how hard it was. They'll only remember that you made it. That you kept going, that you refused to let the weight of the world bury you. So stop telling everybody your problems. Start showing everybody your strength, because most people don't care. And that's exactly why you need to. Let me tell you something about complaining. Complaining has never fixed a problem. Complaining has never solved a struggle. Complaining has never lifted anybody out of pain. All it does is keep you chained to the very thing you're trying to escape. You see, when you complain, what you're really doing is rehearsing your weakness. You're repeating your defeat. You're telling the world, this is too much for me. Instead of telling yourself, I've got what it takes to handle this. And here's the truth, the more you talk about your problem, the bigger it grows. Words have power. If all you ever speak is frustration, all you'll ever live in is frustration. If all you ever say is, it's too hard, then hard will be all you ever know. Complaining doesn't change anything because life doesn't move on words. It moves on action. Life doesn't care about how loud you whine or how much you tell everybody about what you're going through. Life only respects effort. Life only respects movement. Life only respects discipline, persistence, and execution. Think about it. Has complaining ever paid a bill? Has complaining ever healed a broken heart? Has complaining ever built a business, written a book, or turned a dream into reality? No. Complaining might bring you sympathy for a moment, but sympathy doesn't pay the rent. Sympathy doesn't build your future. Sympathy doesn't put strength in your bones or courage in your soul. That's something only action can do. Complaining is easy. Anybody can sit around and point at what's wrong. Anybody can talk about how tough it is, how unfair it is, how painful it is. But while you're sitting there telling the world about your mountain, somebody else is climbing theirs. While you're talking about your storm, somebody else is learning how to sail through it. While you're complaining about the weight, somebody else is getting stronger from carrying theirs. The difference between winners and losers isn't that winners never had problems. It's that they refused to waste their breath talking about the problem and chose instead to use their breath to create solutions. You've got to stop feeding your weakness with words and start feeding your strength with action. Every minute you spend complaining is a minute you could have spent building, planning, learning, growing. Complaining drains you, it steals your energy, it distracts you from the grind. And let's be real, some of us complain so much that we don't even realize we've built an identity around it. Some people don't know who they are without their problems. They wear them like a badge. They bring them up in every conversation. They let their problems define them instead of letting their perseverance define them. But here's the truth. You are not your problems. You are not your pain. You are not your setbacks. You are the person who has the power to overcome them. And the moment you stop complaining, you give yourself permission to rise. See, complaining is like rocking in a chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't move you anywhere. You can sit there all day, rocking back and forth, talking about how tired you are, how heavy life feels, how unfair things have been. But when the day ends, you're still in the same spot. Still stuck, still waiting, still hoping somebody else comes along and fixes it for you. But here's the harsh reality. Nobody's coming. Nobody's showing up with a magic wand to make it all better. If you want change, you've got to create it. If you want freedom, you've got to fight for it. If you want transformation, you've got to demand it from yourself. Complaining won't do it for you. So the next time you feel that urge to complain, catch yourself. Ask yourself, what would happen if I took this same energy and turned it into action? Instead of saying, I'm tired of being broke, take that energy and learn a skill, build a hustle, find a way to add value. Instead of saying, I'm tired of being unhealthy, take that energy and step into the gym, change your diet, walk a mile, start small but start moving. Instead of saying, nobody supports me, use that fire to support yourself until the world has no choice but to notice. Because complaining will never change your life, but consistency will. Complaining will never change your situation, but sacrifice will. Complaining will never change your future, but discipline will. And let's be honest, nobody respects a complainer. People might pat you on the back the first time, but after a while, they stop listening. They stop taking you seriously, because everybody knows talk is cheap. You keep talking about the same problem week after week, month after month, and people realize you don't want change, you want attention. You don't want progress, you want pity, and pity is powerless. But when you stop talking and start doing, when you shift from complaints to commitments, when you show up consistently and do the work, suddenly people start respecting you. They see the grind, they see the effort, they see the growth, and even if they don't clap, it doesn't matter. Because your life is the evidence. Your results speak louder than your words ever could. You see, the real power comes when you realize that complaining is a choice. And so is action. One will keep you stuck, the other will set you free. One will bury you deeper, the other will lift you higher. One will make you bitter, the other will make you better. Which one are you choosing? Life is too short to waste on complaints. The clock is ticking, the days are passing, and while you're busy telling the world how unfair life is, someone else is out there using their time to build a legacy. Someone else is turning their pain into purpose, their problems into progress, their struggles into stories of triumph. So stop complaining, get up, get moving, start building, start changing, start becoming, because complaining doesn't change anything. But action changes everything. Life is not a classroom with chalkboards and neatly written notes. No, life is a battlefield, and your struggles are the drills. The pain you feel right now, the weight pressing against your chest, the nights you cry yourself to sleep, the disappointments that cut you deep, all of it is training. It is not here to destroy you. It is here to prepare you. See, we often pray for strength, but we don't realize that strength doesn't just appear out of thin air. Strength is built in the gym of adversity. It's the resistance, the pushback, the struggle that makes you stronger. Just like iron sharpens iron, pressure molds you into something greater than you were yesterday. When life hits you with a problem, it's not punishment, it's preparation. It's life saying, you want greatness, then you'd better get ready for it. Because greatness requires endurance, it requires patience, it requires resilience, and you don't learn those things in comfort. You learn them in the storm. Think about it. Athletes don't become champions on game day. They become champions in the hours no one sees, in the sweat, in the exhaustion, in the pain of practice. Soldiers aren't made in parades. They're made in the mud, in the hunger, in the endless drills that break their bodies but sharpen their minds. And you, yes, you are no different. Your battlefield might not look the same, but the training ground is just as real. That heartbreak you're going through, it's teaching you how to stand on your own 2 feet. That financial struggle, it's teaching you discipline, teaching you how to hustle, how to stretch, how to create. That rejection, it's training you to handle no, so you can stand tall when the right yes comes along. Every single setback is a setup for a stronger version of you. But here's the problem. Too many people waste their struggle. They complain about it, they run from it, they see it only as suffering. And when you see your struggle only as suffering, you rob yourself of the strength it's trying to give you. You miss the lesson. You miss the growth, you miss the transformation. The truth is, your struggle is the gym where your destiny is built. Every rep of pain is building endurance. Every push of resistance is carving out resilience. Every tear is watering the soil of your growth. But you've got to stop running from the process. You've got to stay in the fight long enough to see the fruit of your struggle. Understand this. Diamonds are not formed in comfort. They are formed under pressure. Gold is not purified in calm waters. It's purified in fire. And greatness is not born in ease. It is born in the struggle. That's why you can't curse your storm. That's why you can't give up when the weight gets heavy. That's why you can't tap out when life gets tough. Because this is your training ground. This is where you earn the strength you'll need for the next level. And listen, struggle doesn't just prepare you for the future. Struggle reveals who you already are. When everything is easy, anybody can look strong, anybody can smile, anybody can pretend. But when life pulls the rug from under you, when you're left with nothing but grit and faith, that's when your true character shows. Struggle strips away the mask. It shows you your weaknesses, but it also reveals your hidden power. Some of you don't even know how strong you are yet. You've never been pushed far enough to discover it. But life will, and when it does, don't run, don't hide, lean into it, embrace it. Because one day you'll look back and realize that the very thing you thought would break you was the thing that built you. That's the beauty of the training ground. It doesn't just shape your muscles. It shapes your mindset. Struggle teaches you patience. Struggle teaches you focus. Struggle teaches you gratitude. You don't appreciate the sunlight until you've sat in the dark. You don't value peace until you've walked through chaos. You don't understand success until you've tasted failure. So stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Stop saying, this is too much. And start saying, this is making me stronger. Because every problem carries a lesson, and every lesson carries a blessing. But only if you stay long enough to learn it. And let me warn you, training isn't supposed to feel good. Growth isn't supposed to be comfortable. If you go to the gym and lift weights that don't challenge you, you'll never grow. If you live life only in places that feel safe, you'll never expand. Struggle feels uncomfortable because it's stretching you, pulling you, breaking the old version of you so the stronger version can emerge. The question is, will you endure it or will you quit? Will you see it as punishment or will you embrace it as preparation? Will you waste your struggle or will you let it mold you into the warrior you were meant to be? Remember this, your struggle is your advantage. Because while everybody else is running from difficulty, you're training in it. While everybody else is crying about the storm, you're learning how to dance in the rain. While everybody else is begging for ease, you're building the strength to handle anything. One day, when you're standing in your victory, when the world is clapping for your success, they'll ask you how you did it. And you'll smile because you'll know the truth. You didn't just wake up strong. You didn't just stumble into greatness. You were trained for it. Every heartbreak, every setback, every sleepless night. It was all part of the process. Your struggle was your training ground, and you didn't waste it. So the next time life pushes you down, don't complain, don't panic, don't quit, get up, stand tall. Say to yourself, this is training. This is building me. This is shaping me into the person I was created to be. And then go forward with power, because one day you'll thank the struggle for making you unbreakable. Silence is one of the most misunderstood powers in the world. People think silence is weakness. They think silence means you have nothing to say, nothing to show, nothing to give. But let me tell you the truth. Silence is strength. Silence is discipline. Silence is power contained, waiting for the right moment to be released. See, anybody can make noise. Anybody can shout about their pain, brag about their plans, complain about their struggles. Noise is easy, noise is cheap, but silence, that takes control. Silence takes maturity. Silence takes wisdom, because silence says, I don't need to prove anything to anybody. I'm too busy building, too busy working, too busy becoming. Silence builds strength because it trains you to depend on yourself, not on applause, not on validation, not on recognition. When you can grind in silence, when you can put in the hours with nobody watching, when you can sacrifice without an audience, that's when you become unstoppable. Because the most dangerous person in the room is not the one making the most noise, it's the one moving in silence. Think about nature. The strongest trees don't make a sound while they grow. They stretch their roots deep into the soil, quietly, day after day, unseen. Then one day they tower above everything around them. The river doesn't brag about carving valleys. It just keeps flowing until the canyon is formed. Power doesn't announce itself. It reveals itself through results. And that's exactly how you need to treat your life. Stop telling everybody what you're going to do. Stop announcing every move before you make it. Stop begging for recognition before the work is done. Put your head down, get into the grind, and let silence become your shield. Because when you stay silent, two things happen. You conserve your energy and you protect your vision. Conserving energy means you stop wasting it on talking and start channeling it into action. Talking takes energy, defending yourself takes energy, arguing with doubters takes energy, explaining your plans takes energy. But when you stay silent, you save that power for the grind, for the mission. for the work that actually moves the needle. Protecting your vision means you stop giving people the chance to tear it down. The more you talk about your dreams, the more you give doubters and haters an opening. Not everyone wants to see you win. Not everyone claps when you speak your goals. Some will discourage you, some will mock you, some will secretly hope you fail. But when you keep it silent, you protect it. You nurture it like a seed in the ground, where it's safe, where it can grow, until it's strong enough to break through the soil and touch the sunlight. Silence is not weakness, it's strategy. A lion doesn't roar when it hunts. It moves quietly, patiently, waiting for the perfect moment. And when it strikes, it doesn't need to announce itself. Its actions speak. That's the way you need to live. You don't need to tell everybody about the battles you're fighting. You don't need to explain your every step. Just move, just build, just prepare. And when the time comes, let your results roar louder than any words ever could. Silence also builds strength within you. Because when you're quiet, you hear things. You hear your own thoughts, your own spirit, your own intuition. You hear the whispers of wisdom that get drowned out by the noise of the world. Silence teaches you patience. Silence teaches you focus. Silence teaches you to listen, not just to others, but to yourself. And when you can listen, you learn. When you learn, you grow. And when you grow, you become powerful. The problem with many people is that they're addicted to noise. They can't stand silence. They always have to broadcast something. Broadcast their struggles, broadcast their pain, broadcast their dreams, broadcast their moves. But the more noise you make, the weaker you become. Because the moment you announce it, you give away your power. You give away the element of surprise. You give away the mystery, and mystery is powerful. When people don't know what you're up to, they can't stop it. When people don't know your next step, they can't block it. When people don't know your struggle, they can't laugh at it. Silence is your shield. Silence is your cover. Silence is your strategy. And here's the truth. Real strength doesn't need to shout. Real strength doesn't need to prove. Real strength doesn't need to explain. Real strength just is. You never see a mountain brag about its height, yet it stands unshakable. You never see the ocean announce its depth, yet it's immeasurable. Strength doesn't speak, it shows. So if you want to build real strength, practice silence. When life gets heavy, don't rush to complain. Endure it quietly and let it mold you. When you're grinding, don't rush to tell the world. Let the results do the talking. When you're hurting, don't hand your pain to everybody. Carry it, learn from it, and let it turn you into steel. Because silence builds a strength that noise could never give you. Noise gets attention for a moment. Silence builds character for a lifetime. Noise creates a spark. Silence builds a fire. Noise is temporary. Silence is eternal. And one day, when you break the silence, it won't be with complaints. It won't be with excuses. It won't be with empty promises. It will be with results, with victories, with a story so powerful that the silence that came before it will only make the roar louder. So remember this. Silence is not the absence of power, it is the preparation of power. It is the strength that grows in the shadows, the discipline that is forged in the quiet, the focus that is sharpened away from the spotlight. And when the time comes, silence will give birth to the loudest victory of your life. Stay silent, stay focused, stay strong, and when it's time, let your success make the noise. One of the hardest truths you will ever have to accept in life is this: not everyone wants to see you win. Not everyone is rooting for you. Not everyone who smiles in your face is clapping for you in your absence. Some people secretly hope you fail. Some people sit quietly, waiting for your downfall, because your success shines a light on their laziness, their excuses, their fears. You've got to understand that human nature is complex. People will tell you they love you. They'll pat you on the back. They'll say they're proud of you. But deep down, many of them don't want to see you climb too high. Why? Because the higher you rise, the more it exposes where they've settled. Your drive exposes their comfort. Your hustle exposes their excuses. Your ambition exposes their lack of it. And not everyone is strong enough to celebrate that. So if you expect the whole world to be happy for you, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Some people will clap, but not from joy, from envy. Some people will smile, but it won't reach their eyes. Some people will be silent, not because they don't see you, but because they can't stand to acknowledge that you're doing what they never had the courage to do. And here's the thing, you cannot let that break you. You cannot let that discourage you. You cannot spend your life shrinking just to keep others comfortable. Because the truth is, their lack of support has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with their own insecurity. Not everyone wants to see you win, and that's exactly why you have to. You've got to win for the people who doubted you. You've got to win for the people who counted you out. You've got to win for the people who whispered behind your back, waiting for you to fall apart. Because your victory isn't just about you. It's proof that no amount of envy, no amount of doubt, no amount of hidden hate can stop a determined heart. Let's be clear, when you start rising, you will lose people. Some of the same friends you laughed with, some of the same family you leaned on, some of the same coworkers who said they were proud of you. They'll start to drift away, not because you did anything wrong, but because your growth makes them uncomfortable. Your light makes their darkness impossible to ignore. Your courage makes their fear stand out, and you've got to be okay with that. You've got to understand that not everyone is meant to come with you to the next level. Some people are only chapters in your story, not the whole book. Some people were there for the beginning, but they can't handle the middle. Some people loved you when you were average, but they can't stand you when you start to separate yourself. And that's okay. You've got to stop trying to drag people with you who don't want to walk. You've got to stop begging people to clap for you who secretly want to see you lose. You've got to stop lowering your standards just to make others feel better about staying where they are. Your destiny is too important, your calling is too great, your purpose is too heavy for you to carry dead weight. The truth is, their doubt is fuel. Every whisper, every sigh, every fake smile, every unspoken word of envy. It's all proof that you're shaking the room. It's proof that you're making noise. It's proof that you're doing something worth noticing. Nobody envies the person who isn't moving. Nobody doubts the person who isn't rising. Nobody hates on the person who isn't going anywhere. The fact that not everyone wants to see you win means you're headed in the right direction. So don't cry about who's not clapping. Don't beg for approval. Don't get bitter because they don't see your worth. Let it go, use it, turn it into fuel, because the sweetest victories are the ones that silence the doubters. The sweetest success is the one that proves them all wrong. And here's another truth. You don't need everybody to want you to win. You don't need the whole world to clap for you. You just need God, your grit, and a little bit of faith. Because the right people, the real ones, the ones who are meant to walk with you, they'll celebrate you. They'll support you. They'll cheer for you without jealousy, without envy, without hesitation. And when you find those people, keep them close. But don't waste your time trying to convince the wrong people to believe in you. You see, not everyone wants to see you win. But that's exactly why you've got to. Because your win will become more than just your win. It will inspire somebody else who's watching quietly, someone you don't even know, someone who needs proof that it's possible. You'll never even meet all the people who are silently rooting for you. So while the wrong ones may envy, the right ones are waiting for your victory to give them courage for their own. So remember this, don't let hidden hate stop your progress. Don't let jealousy make you bitter. Don't let envy distract you. Let it strengthen you. Let it harden your focus. Let it sharpen your grind. Let it remind you that you're not here to be liked. You're here to be great. Not everyone wants to see you win, but you will. And when you do, when you stand tall, when you rise higher, when you accomplish what they said was impossible, they'll have no choice but to see it. They don't have to clap. They don't have to cheer. They don't even have to like it, but they'll see it, and that's enough. So keep going, keep building, keep grinding, because whether they want it or not, you are going to win. Fire, that's tilde 1,000 words of raw, uncompromising expansion on not everyone wants to see you win. Do you want me to expand the sixth point, let results speak, next in the same long format? You said, let results speak now, ChatGPT said. Locked in fire, here's the 1,000 word motivational expansion for let results speak. Talk is cheap. Promises are empty. Words fade into the air the moment they leave your mouth. But results are undeniable. Results are louder than the loudest speech. Results are stronger than the strongest excuse. Results speak a language that everyone understands, and they cannot be argued with. Too many people spend their lives announcing their intentions. They tell the world, I'm going to do this, I'm going to build that, I'm going to change my life. They post about it, they talk about it, they repeat it over and over. But when you look at their life months later, nothing has changed. Why? Because they got addicted to the sound of their own words instead of addicted to the grind required to back them up. The truth is, the world doesn't need your announcement. The world doesn't need another promise. The world doesn't need to hear what you're going to do. It needs to see it. Because when you let results speak, you don't have to convince anybody. You don't have to argue with doubters. You don't have to defend yourself against haters. The evidence speaks on your behalf. Think about it. Have you ever seen someone rise from nothing, someone who was counted out, someone who had every reason to quit, and suddenly they show up with undeniable success? They don't need to explain themselves. They don't need to clap back at the critics. Their results are the loudest response possible. Results are the mic drop. Results end the conversation. When you let results speak, you stop wasting time explaining yourself to people who don't matter. You stop wasting energy defending yourself to people who never believed in you anyway. Instead, you put all that energy into building, into working, into creating something that cannot be denied. Let me make it clear. People will doubt you. People will underestimate you. People will laugh at you. People will whisper behind your back, and you can spend your whole life arguing with them, trying to prove them wrong with words, or you can stay silent, focus, and let your results prove them wrong for you. Because results don't just silence doubters. They humble them. Understand this. When you're chasing something big, not everyone is going to see it. Not everyone is going to believe it. Some people won't understand your vision until they see it in front of them. And that's fine. That's not their job. Your job is not to convince them with explanations. Your job is to show them with execution. That's why silence and results go hand in hand. You grind in silence, and when the time is right, the results speak so loudly that no one can ignore them. It's like a seed. Nobody sees what's happening underground. Nobody sees the roots spreading, the foundation being built. But one day, the tree breaks through the soil and suddenly it's undeniable. That's how your life works. The quiet work, the hidden grind, the discipline nobody sees. It all adds up until one day, the results shout louder than you ever could. And here's the beautiful part. Results can't be faked. You can fake confidence. You can fake applause, you can fake social media posts, but you cannot fake results. Results don't lie. If you've been putting in the work, it shows. If you've been slacking, that shows too. Results will always expose the truth. So ask yourself, do you want to be known for talking, or do you want to be known for producing? Do you want people to remember you as someone who promised big things, or someone who delivered big things? Do you want to live off potential forever, or do you want to live off proof? Letting results speak means being patient, because results take time, growth takes time, building takes time, but when the results finally come, they are louder than any noise you could have made along the way. That's why you've got to stay focused, stay disciplined, and stay committed long enough to see them manifest. And when the results come, you don't have to brag. You don't have to boast. You don't have to scream, look at me. People will see. People will notice, people will feel it. Results don't need marketing. Results don't need an introduction. They walk into the room and command respect all on their own. Think about history. The people we admire, the ones who made an impact, they didn't spend their time convincing everyone they were great. They let their results do the talking. Leaders, creators, innovators, champions. Their results spoke louder than their words. They didn't have to say they were the best. Their results declared it for them. So let me challenge you. The next time you feel like defending yourself, stop. The next time you feel like proving yourself with words, don't. The next time you feel like announcing your every move, hold it. Instead, take that energy, take that fire, and pour it into the work. Pour it into the grind. Pour it into the preparation. Because one day, the results will speak, and they will say everything that words never could. Results say I didn't quit. Results say I kept going. Results say I believed in myself when nobody else did. Results say I earned this. And those words are louder than any speech, any argument, any excuse. So stop talking, stop announcing, stop promising, start working, start building, Start grinding, because the world doesn't need to hear what you're going to do. It needs to see what you've done. Let results speak. And when they do, they'll echo louder than any words ever could. Pain is life's universal language. Every single person on this planet understands it. No matter your background, no matter your culture, no matter where you come from. You've felt pain. Physical pain, emotional pain, the sting of rejection, the ache of loss, the frustration of failure. Pain is the one thing that doesn't discriminate, but here's the truth. Pain doesn't come to break you. Pain comes to shape you. Pain comes to introduce you to the version of yourself you've never met before. Pain is not your enemy, it's your raw material, and the question is, what will you do with it? Will you let it paralyze you, or will you let it power you? Will you let it drain your spirit, or will you let it drive your mission? Too many people run from pain. They avoid it, hide from it, complain about it, but you can't escape it. Pain is inevitable. The only thing you can choose is how you respond to it. And the ones who rise, the ones who transform, the ones who create impact, they're the ones who take that pain and turn it into power. Think about it. Some of the greatest stories ever told, some of the most inspiring lives ever lived, were born out of pain. The athlete who grew up with nothing, who turned the pain of poverty into fuel for discipline. The leader who faced rejection again and again, who turned the pain of no into the fire to create their own yes. The individual who lost everything but used that loss as a foundation to rebuild stronger. Their power didn't come in spite of their pain, it came because of it. See, pain is a teacher. It teaches you what comfort never could. Comfort lulls you to sleep. Comfort makes you complacent. Comfort convinces you to stay the same, but pain wakes you up. Pain sharpens you. Pain forces you to grow. Pain tells you you can handle more than you think you can. Every time you go through something hard, every time you survive something you thought might break you, you come out stronger. You come out wiser. You come out with new tools. That's power. That's growth. And that's what separates those who stay stuck from those who rise. But here's the catch. You can't just feel the pain. You've got to use it. You've got to channel it. You've got to flip it. If you sit in pain too long, it becomes poison. But if you move with it, if you channel it into action, it becomes power. It becomes energy. It becomes fuel. Think about fire. Fire can burn you, or fire can warm you. Fire can destroy, or fire can build. It's the same flame. The difference is how you use it. Pain works the same way. If you let it consume you, it will destroy you. But if you harness it, if you direct it, if you turn it into fuel, it can light up your entire life. Maybe you've been betrayed. Maybe you've been abandoned. Maybe life hit you so hard you didn't think you could get back up. That pain isn't there to bury you. It's there to build you. It's telling you this is your moment to rise. This is your moment to fight. This is your moment to turn everything that hurt you into everything that drives you. Don't waste your pain. Don't waste the nights you cried. Don't waste the moments you struggled. Don't waste the seasons you thought you wouldn't survive. Transform them. Convert them. Let them become the fuel that drives you further than you've ever gone before. Every champion you've ever admired has mastered this. They took their pain and converted it into obsession, into discipline, into a relentless hunger. They didn't let it stop them. They let it start them. They didn't let it weaken them. They let it strengthen them. And here's what's powerful. When you turn pain into power, you don't just change your life. You inspire others, because someone is watching you. Someone is looking at your struggle. Someone is wondering if they can survive their own pain. And when they see you rise, when they see you transform, when they see you take your pain and make it your power, you give them hope. You give them proof that it's possible. That's why your pain has purpose. It's not wasted. It's not random. It's not meaningless. It's raw material for your destiny, but it's up to you to use it. It's up to you to refuse to let it bury you. It's up to you to turn it into something that elevates you. So the next time you feel pain, the next time life hits you hard, don't just ask, why me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? How can I use this? How can I flip this? Because inside that pain is the very power you've been searching for. Inside that struggle is the strength you've been asking for. Inside that hurt is the hunger that will drive you to heights you never thought possible. Your pain is your power, not because it's pleasant, not because it's easy, but because it forces you to discover who you really are. It forces you to dig deeper, fight harder, and rise higher. So stop running from it. Stop fearing it, stop resenting it, instead use it, embrace it, convert it, let it push you, let it drive you, let it transform you. Because one day, when you look back, you'll realize that the very thing you thought was sent to destroy you was actually sent to deliver you. Turn your pain into power and watch how your life transforms.